I'm not exaggerating when I say that Professor Groover's seminar had changed my life, probably changed many alumni's life before me, and can very much change your life as well.
A leader is defined by their ability to inspire, empower, and unite people. Whether that be on a small scale in molding individuals into a better version of themselves, or on a macro level in advancing an organization in the direction of its goals. A leader is both an example to follow and a person to look up to.
Professor Groover has this very unique Socratic way of taking the best out of you, and you'll realize that through his course like abilities and ways of thinking that you never thought you had inside of you.
He doesn't necessarily teach you what to think, but he teaches you to think in a critical manner that helps you teach how to think for the rest of your life. I know it's been super helpful in my professional career, and I'm very thankful that I took the class.
This seminar provided me with the opportunity to grow in many ways. First, as a student, doing an intensive course that I never would have thought myself able to do. Then as a professional, interacting with current leaders who provided me with so much help and support and insight. And finally, as a leader myself, as I learned that there is no one way to categorize yourself as a leader. I have used the knowledge I gained in this seminar in many interviews. I feel like, what is your leadership style is a very common question, and I now feel that I'm not only able to answer that question, but to really make my interviewers think about my answer and impress them with my knowledge regarding how to be a leader in today's age.
He may not remember this, but he pulled me to the side after one of our seminars and challenged me to share my ideas, questions, and concerns about topics we discussed during the program. Not only did I accept that challenge during the summer of '94, I continued to accept that challenge in 2021.
I loved Professor Groover's Leadership Seminar. It was absolutely the best class that I took at Bucknell. I graduated 10 years ago, and I still find myself using lessons from that class all the time. I've worked across 3 different industries, and it gets more and more relevant as my career progresses. I think the combination of learning leadership theory, having guest speakers come into class and share real-world leadership examples, and then an opportunity to do facilitated discussion afterwards to kind of apply the theory to the practice and kind of disentangle everything that you learned and figure out how it applies to yourself is one of the most valuable experiences you can have at Bucknell.
I think some of the most influential pieces of that class were actually getting to interact with current CEOs, successful entrepreneurs, leaders from Bucknell itself, as well as other areas of industry and the real world, essentially, and getting to hear from them what traits made them successful in their career paths, as well as what things they struggled with in their journey of leadership.
I learned firsthand management and leadership perspectives from a diverse set of very successful leaders. These forums were so important to my growth as a young professional.
Not only did I learn incredibly interesting content, but I learned invaluable soft skills that are required and demanded of me in my day-to-day. This includes things like being a clear communicator, both written and verbally, being able to build an argument based off of fact and strong analysis, being concise and precise with your delivery, and finding ways to quantify traditionally qualitative information.
I can honestly say it was the best course that I've taken at Bucknell. You know, it's interesting when I think back in my courses at Bucknell, I only really have one, and it's this one, that I find myself talking about to other people. You know, I tell everyone, tell anyone who will listen.
As a graduate of the Open Discourse Coalition's leadership program, I completed an immersive leadership curriculum which allowed me to grow my leadership capabilities in all areas of the field. I was given the opportunity to engage in leadership-based discussions where we study successful leaders and break down their traits. In addition to this, I was able to interact with and study many successful Bucknell alumni, building relationships that have opened many new doors for me. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have taken part in this leadership program, and I thank the Open Discourse Coalition for their investment in students like me and many future Bucknell students. Go Bison!